Walking the trails and looking at the easy gaits of the dogs. They're 2.5-year-old Rottweilers, incredibly muscular, and yet they are so elegant in their movements. And so this reminds me of a really important teaching in my yoga teacher training that I think applies not only to a yoga or movement practice, but could be translated into how to live a more easeful life. And that's this notion that comes from biomechanics to only use as much energy as is necessary to sustain the pose or the movement, so that we aren't overly contracted in our muscles. We aren't using up valuable prana or life force energy unnecessarily. So it's kind of like this idea of you would never drive with your foot on the gas and the brake at the same time, and yet it kind of feels like we do that in life. So these dogs, they just always remind me of the most simplest things, because their soft animal bodies do what they love, as Mary Oliver says, and I'm in wonder all the time watching them. And it makes me think, how many ways do I exert a great deal more force than is necessary in, any action, whether it's overthinking or overdoing, over service, over loving, over speaking, So I really appreciate that reminder from these sweet and precious dogs. A good rule of thumb for life, for movement, is and I want to strike that rule of thumb because that comes from a nasty place. A good general practice is only use as much energy as required. Walking